Welcome to your weekend focus for September 3rd and 4th, 2022. The moon is in Sag, and boy, is the moon busy talking to different planets. So there could be a variety of things actually going on today that we need to be aware of, that we can utilize. Let's start at the beginning. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. We have the number 3 energy. The 3 energy, it's about planting the seed. It's about being the intuitive, being the diplomat. It's about creating, giving birth to something, transforming something into something beautiful. It's all about creating beauty and love in your life. Absolutely, the 3 energy. If we do the numerology for the Saturday, it is an 18, and that is our heart center. That is our inner child. That is us taking time to ask ourselves, what makes me happy? What brings me joy? How do I create love in my life? How do I bring that in to my life? And asking yourself not what the commercials tell you, not what your friends do, but rather what you consider happiness and joy. And then putting a passion behind it and walking in that direction and being very authentic in who you are from the inside out. 1 plus 8 is a 9. A 9 is about letting things go. It's about clearing the path, but the 9 is clearing the path to make way for new things coming in. So there are things out there that are waiting for you to clear up some space so it can actually enter your life. So 9 energies are beautiful for that. Then we have the 4 energy. The 4 energy is about getting your ducks in a row. It's about creating a balance and finding out where you're out of balance and spending some time and thought about how to bring those things into balance. So you might be working a lot right now, and that's great because the paychecks are going to be great and you're going to be able to get that toy, or that you're going to reach that financial goal that you're setting. You're going to be able to pay the bills, whatever it may be. But because you're working so much, maybe your friendships are suffering. Maybe your home life is suffering. Maybe your spiritual time, your alone time, your quiet time is suffering. So you're not in balance. You don't have a harmony. It's not a sound structure on which to build. And so the 4 energy shows up to say we need to pay attention to that. Pay attention to our life and how it's flowing, or where it's blocked. If we do the numerology of the day for Sunday, it is the 19 energy. The 19 energy it usually brings in some kind of learning curve for us so that we can actually go forward, that we can actually see that path forward. So it's almost like we sit in darkness, something hits us, we have to deal with it. We deal with it effectively, and the lights get turned on and you can see the path clearly going forward. It's all about you. It's the I am. Now, 1 plus 9 is a 10, and that is new seasons, new energy coming in, a lighter energy usually. A good 10 is also a lucky number. And 1 plus 0 is a 1, the I am, the true I am, the independent. Wanting to go forward, wanting to trailblaze, wanting to be the pioneer, to start things, to get things going, to step into new learning experiences, relationships, travel, career, whatever it may be. But we get that kind of energy under any kind of 1 energy. So the I am, any affirmation with I am, put it, whatever the future is, and put it into the present in your words. I am. Like it's already happened. Sun is in Virgo for the weekend. Moon is in Sagittarius for the weekend. I think, it's about time we're ready to call it a night on Sunday. That's when the moon will switch over to Capricorn. So we'll wake up very task-oriented come Monday morning. But for this weekend, it's that beautiful Sag energy that makes us optimistic, that motivates us, that we want growth, we want learning experience, we want travel, we want to see things, experience things, we want to understand things. And the more we tap into that, the more and more ways we go, and all of a sudden we're a mess. So we have to we're trying to do something like that this weekend. We kind of have to rein it in a little bit and put some discipline behind it to really make it effective. Otherwise, and it could be a great journey, but it's not the journey that you were hoping for. The learning experiences perhaps you were looking for, whether it's researching something, taking a course, talking to a mentor, or going and exploring on your own. So the moon, it is the first quarter because the moon is squaring Virgo, the sun. I'm squaring the sun in Virgo, I guess I should say. And that could bring in some tension. That could bring in some conflict. That could bring in some stresses. But remember, conflict, stresses, tension, it all pushes us to learn. When we're having a great time, we don't care about the learning as much. We want to have a good time. We want to celebrate. We want to enjoy letting our hair down. And so many times we don't take it upon ourselves to learn. So we get this kind of energy coming in that says, no, you need to look at this. And it's going to teach you something. Absolutely. You're going to feel ambitious and competitive under this kind of energy. So I think slightly competitive. I don't think overly competitive. Although there's some other things happening. We have the moon and Mars is in opposition. And that is combative kind of energy. So be careful of that. And then I think the Sun and Pluto are talking in some way, and they're getting all defensive and in each other's business. So we'll have fears of not having power, not being seen, being overlooked. And so when buried emotions, something that we've pushed down because we didn't want to deal with it, that comes up under this kind of energy too. So we'll have learning experiences this weekend, absolutely. So take it with the knowledge that it's moving you forward, like the 19 energy. Okay, it moves you into a lighter energy, a new season, a new start, a new beginning, a new chapter, but only because we addressed the issues, only because we looked at it. And so maybe we have to go in and use that 18 energy as well and look in our heart center and say, well, everybody wants me to do this, but do I want to do that? Will that make me happy? Or will it just make everybody else happy? So maybe I'll just make everybody else a little upset with me. They'll get over it because there'll be something new to be upset about next week for them all. And they'll come back and I'll go in my direction. I'll take a risk on me because it's very much that kind of energy now too. But the Sun and Pluto, the big thing is control. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Hangman comes up today just to tell us, to pay attention to what we have control over. It's almost like we kind of see things and we got to have that control over it. And anything that hints that we don't have control over that situation, that person, that environment, oh boy, we're going to be stressing. And we could even stress to the point of trying to manipulate people to get back the control that we feel that we deserve, we need. When it comes to a person, when it comes to an environment, when it comes to something happening. Maybe you're planning something, maybe, getting the kids ready for school and you decide that you want to get this, and this, but somebody else has decided, no, we're going to go over here and we're going to do that instead. And that's going to bug you. Where normally you'd be going like, okay, let's see what they got. Normally that's how you maybe might respond, but over this weekend you're like, no, I don't think so. No, we're going my way. And you get a little combative with Mars there too. So there's a lot of energy happening there. So chill, okay? Make sure that you're not trying to manipulate the situation, because I tell you, any form of manipulation right now will come back to haunt those people. So we don't want us to be those people. So do not manipulate. State your thing and then go in your direction. Okay? If you don't have control, you don't have control. It's okay not to have control. It'll work out. Maybe not as good as when you were in control of it, but it will work out. It will get done. Don't worry about it. You don't need the control. But we'll feel like we need it. So be careful of that, okay? Okay, let's get to the cards, shall we? Because there is a lot of opportunity for growth, realizing something about ourselves. Why do we all of a sudden I feel I need control of this? What do I really feel is lacking? Is it my confidence? Is it my worth? I think I just cut them, but I was told to cut them, so I did. And who do we have? Look at this, the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands is wonderful for this kind of energy. The Queen of Wands is one who stands back a little bit. She's like a judge to me. In many ways, I see her as the judge because she asks the questions, she does her research, she figures out the answers to her questions, and then when she's ready, she makes that decision. Oh, when she makes that decision, it is pure, it is solid. She never has to look backwards and say, did I make the right decision when I made that decision? She never has to second guess herself. So this is the shadow here. So it's about thinking it through, asking the questions, making the decision, but in that order. Now, also with the Queen of Wands, I love her because she wants to get going. Okay, she doesn't dilly dally and spend all kinds of times with it. She's like, give me an answer, give me an answer, give me an answer. It's almost like the judge, right? We got so much to listen to the case, and then we're gonna make a decision after I weigh out everything, right? So, and that's basically what you want to do. You want to give yourself almost a time frame of finding the answers and then going after those answers to make your decision and then going forward. Now, once you go forward, you are feeling optimistic. You are feeling passionate. You are motivated because you know that this is a solid decision. You know that you've got what it takes. And people start noticing something very, very different about you. And people want to be more and more involved with whatever you're doing because you're looking great, feeling great, laughing all the time, and they want to be you right now. So that's beautiful energy here that we have for our weekend. Now, the first card out is the King of Cups. King of Cups is, we're going back to the 4 energy, really. The King of Cups is about settling down the turmoil, okay? And I'm getting all these new insights from these cards lately. So I see him kind of like on a dock of some sort. And underneath him, that water is like crazy. Behind him, it's calm. Behind him, the ship is coming in. But what really attracted me, it's almost like he keeps the chaos from happening. And we can only see a little bit under that raft or that dock that he's on, that there is a lot of turbulence going on, but he keeps it all in order. And how does he do it? Out of love. And is it beautiful, embracing, kissy face love? No, it's not. It's hard love. It's tough love. It's where you're going to be tonight. Who are you hanging out with? Who's their parents? Where do they work? You got enough money? What time you coming home? You like these people? They treat you well? Where are you working right now? They treat you well? They pay you enough? The King of Cups asks you out of love to start thinking through your decisions very young in life. Hopefully, if you had that kind of dad. But the stereotypical dad would. He would ask all these questions to make you question yourself when he's no longer around. And because he questions you and you don't like answering, right? That's how you always ask me this stuff. Stay out of my business. And you ran and slammed your door, right? And started getting ready for the night, How dare they question you? But the questions were there so that later on in life, you will ask yourself these questions, and probably your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren as well. It's about asking the questions, the mundane questions, to make sure that you've got all the boxes checked. And we do that out of love. So we may have to ask some hard questions with somebody else. We may have to ask some hard questions to ourselves. If we're saying, oh, I'm going to go this way and it's going to be so great and I see the pathway, do you have enough money? Is this a passion? Are you ready for this? Are you well educated? Do you have the education behind you? Do you have the support behind you? Maybe you're going into a new relationship. Do they treat you well? What's their family like? What are they like? You have to ask the questions, and this is about questions, loving questions, and they could be hard to answer. Or we don't want to answer them. We don't want to look that way. So he takes off the blinders in a very loving way so that you never wear those blinders again. The Eight of Wands is back. Yes, there's so much out there. There's so much out there. And so this is about expanding your horizon, seeing more of the bigger picture. Understanding that if you want to go this way, you can also go this way, and this way, all at the same time. They all lead that way. And you want to get from A to B. You do want to get from A to B, but you don't want to miss the journey. You don't want to miss the present. Now, I told you before, I see the great big giant. He's got his bow and arrow. He's behind us there. Well, they're not arrows, they're wands, but he's using them as arrows. And we're sitting there and we are staring dead forward because those arrows are off, those wands are going to go flying. And we've got to go to every one of those spots. And we may not even have seen what was over that hill. We may not have seen that there was a pond over there. We may not have seen that there was a beautiful garden over here. Had we not followed those wands, had we not meandered upon our path and realized that there's so much extra that we can have in our path if we so desire it, if we so want it. And we may not even know we want it unless we go in search of things and seeing what's out there and growing your mind and growing your heart and growing you. Growing your path forward. And the Eight of Cups. Wow, 2 8s. So, eights are all about creating the abundance in your life. So, first you have to ask yourself, what is great abundance to me, right? Is it money? Is it toys? Is it people? Is it love? Is it family? Is it a job? Is it a career? What do you feel true abundance is? The Eight of Cups. So often we want to go forward, but we don't want to give up those things in our life that make us happy, that make us feel content, that make us feel safe. But we have to turn our back on some of those things. So we're going kind of back to the 9 energy again, aren't we? That we have to clear that path in order to make way for new things to come in. It all can't stay with us. Otherwise, everybody would be sitting here right now with a little blankie and a teddy bear. We have to move forward. We have to sometimes give up the things that we do love. They do bring us in safety, security. So stepping into the unknown is hard, especially when you are stepping away from something that, and trust me, whatever you step away from, if it's truly meant to be in your life, it'll come back in again. You're not losing anything. You never lose anything unless it no longer has value in your life going forward. And it was good that you had lost it then, because you didn't want to take that with you down the road. So are we pondering here? Are we making the decision? Have we turned our back completely on those things so that we can go forward? Have we cleared our path enough? Have we taken away some of those things that no longer really provide any kind of support? And support isn't even the word I wanted to use, but they show me pictures and sometimes I don't know what I should use as a word. These are things that no longer have value in your life. That they take up space, they take up time, energy, resources. They devalue you and your path going forward in some way, and you don't even realize it until you look at it. or you don't even realize it until you make that decision to walk away from it, and then you realize it after the fact. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, this is where we feel powerless. We feel overlooked. We feel like it's never going to come together for us. We start doubting ourselves. We just start doubting our dreams, our passions, our heart, our mental stability. Sometimes we question it all, and we are ready to throw in the towel because you can't see anything working, or it doesn't feel like it's working, or it's just too hard each and every day to push and push and push and try and get somewhere, and you're just spinning your wheels, so it feels like, this is not the time to throw in the towel. You are sitting on the threshold of abundance, okay? It is literally waiting for you. Okay, there is the door of abundance right behind you. It is literally waiting for you to notice that it's there so that you can open the door and walk through. So don't allow those negative feelings to come in. Truly. 18 even holds the 8 energy of the abundance. So we have the 2 8s out on the board, and this card comes out. It's so much. It's not even about positive affirmations, but it's and really positive thoughts and building yourself up. It's also about an unrealistic almost expectation that it's going to come, it's going to happen, where people are like, well, think about it. I'm not thinking about it. It's going to happen. I don't have to think about it. It's going to happen. That kind of belief in whatever that you are trying to obtain in your life. To just shut off all the negativity, because the negativity, this card says, the negativity will come flooding in and talk many out of their paths, out of their passions, out of their dreams, out of their desires. Oh my goodness, out of the love they have for somebody or something. So know that you got to stand up straight and tall. Know that you've got to straighten your shoulders. Know that you've got to look forward. Know that you have to think very positively, get around positive people, like-minded people. But also to undeniably expect it to happen in your life, to show up in your reality. And don't care how it's going to show up, okay? Let them take care of that. All you want is to say, this is what I need. I don't know how you're going to do it, but this is what I need. And the 5 of Cups, so we end really on downer notes here for our reading. We have the 2 8s, but also the 2 5s. So it all depends on how you use this energy this weekend. If it can really pull you down this weekend, okay? That's what these cards say. You can kind of get in that. And I'm here to tell you, you are a remarkable, amazing person, okay? A unique being. In fact, you're not even a human being, really. You're a human being having a spiritual experience, is what they say. But I think that we are spirits having a human experience, personally. This card is all about just seeing the lack of what didn't work, of what you consider a failure in your life, of where you were embarrassed about yourself, or even mortified that you did something or you said something or you acted in a certain way. Shame, guilt. You really just need to yell stop. It's so, both of these cards both talk about yelling stop in your mind. Okay, so if you have to change from a very negative to a very happy, what you want to do is you want to trick your brain. Okay, trick your brain. Your brain is easy to trick. I've done it many times to myself. It works every time. So maybe I'm just a little denser than everybody else, or it happens to work. So what happens is your brain can't be depressed and happy at the same time. That's why we write That's why we write gratitude journals. Because when we're writing in that book for a brief moment in time, we can't be sad, we can't be depressed, and be grateful at the same time. It doesn't go together. Those two emotions can't be together. Also with this one, we can't be depressed So what you want to do is you want to create a picture in your mind. Okay, now I use a monkey water skiing, eating a banana, wearing a pink bandana. Immediately your brain goes, oh, we gotta, so it starts to create that in that brief split second time when your mind is creating this monkey water skiing with a banana and a pink bandana on. It can't think about the depression. It can't think about the sadness. It has to shut that off momentarily. And when it does, this is when you bring in the positive attitude. That's when you start that positive meditation. That's when you start affirming of what you want. That's when you start working on the strategy and working on the plan and just silencing that negative voice that is going to pop up this weekend, because it will for each and every one of us. We've got 2 cards here saying, well, we've got 4 cards here actually saying it. So all these things are only supposed to shed light on, ask yourself why. Why am I depressed? Why am I depressed about that? Why do I need control over here? Why am I getting all combative over there? And understand why these things are happening, why these are triggers in your life. Because once you understand what triggers a certain unwanted response in whatever it is, however it may manifest out in your life, once you see it, you take away its power over you, and you can go forward in a new way, a stronger way, a more confident way. So in this card, we didn't even finish talking about this card. I just went off on a rant. So over here is our full cups. They are empty. How are we going to fill them? Turn around, look around, see them, and start understanding what you truly want to create in your life, what you want to bring into your life, and that you are more than up to the task. You have the gifts, you have the talents, you have the ability, you have the passion, you have the heart center for it. So turn off that negative voice. Don't listen to it. There's so much potential for you to gain some knowledge this weekend about yourself. And it might turn out that that was the thing that was actually not allowing you to move forward in the way you want. And paying attention to it and working through it. See it. Now don't hold it. For goodness sakes, don't hold that. Let it flow through you. Understand it. Look it in the eye. Self-reliance. Don't be afraid to fly solo. So if your thing this weekend is, nobody else wants to. Oh well. So they lose. Self-reliance. Don't be afraid to fly solo. Now that is the 19 energy, the 1 energy, the I am energy. And trust me, we have the Queen of Wands there saying, once you've researched it, once you've made the decision, once you know, and don't let anyone tear you down. Don't let anybody talk you out of doing it. You're right. You have the wisdom, you have the intuition. Cement them together, work as one. To work as one. Self-reliance. You have the courage and fortitude to lovingly assert yourself and your point of view. And when you do so, you may gain the respect and support from family, friends, colleagues. It takes a boldness, it takes integrity to stand up for yourself and be counted, especially if it seems like nobody's supporting you. Trust yourself, value your own opinions and judgment. Flying solo is a challenge that takes courage and confidence. This is your road to freedom. Become lion-hearted and know that your best protection is your own spine. The mantra is, if it is to be, it's up to me. If it is to be, it's up to me. Maybe they're not doing A, B, C, and D, but I don't know how to do E and F, and I'm going to do E and F because I can't do A, B, C, D, and E. But I can do E and F. So that's what I'm going to choose to do. I think Helen Keller once said that. I can't do everything, but I can do this. And so I can do this one thing. It's up to me to do it. That's my obligation. To myself, to my dreams, to my goals, to my family. Pronghorn, take action. Take action. Now is the time to act. Sorry. Now is the time to act. Opportunities are here. Move forward with confidence. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your talents will always get you there. So you can trust in yourself. Believe in yourself. Know that you've got this. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. And we are. We are a little bit sharper right now. We can think things through. We can make the decisions if we want to take the time to do so. And we do want to take the time to do so. So now is the time to act. Opportunities are here. So what opportunities are you seeing in front of you? And maybe they're not the opportunities that you're dreaming of, but what opportunities do you have in front of you today to do something? So let that one thing that you can do motivate you into doing that and more and more. Watch control issues this weekend. Oh my gosh, please watch control issues this weekend. Don't go and try and manipulate somebody into doing something and getting that false pretense of that you got some kind of control on something. Let go of the controls. Okay, so that you can be free, so that you can step into what you want to step into. That's where you want the control, not in somebody else's drama, not in somebody else's reality, somebody else's world. And you always have control over your choices and your decisions. So your talents will always get you to where you need to go. So keen senses, pay attention to that gut feeling, pay attention to your intuition, especially when we have the 18 energy, because our inner child is talking to us. So trust in that inner child, trust in your heart center. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.